All right, let's dive into the powerful and pretty much invisible force that's making our green energy future a reality. We're going to uncover the absolutely essential role that a simple magnet plays in creating clean power. Let's get right to it. Okay, so here's a question for you. What in the world is the hidden link between a massive wind turbine, one of those giants, and a simple little refrigerator magnet? It sounds a bit strange, right? But believe it or not, they share a fundamental secret. And by the end of this, you're going to see exactly what it is.
So let's pull back the curtain on that secret. We're diving into the unseen force and how magnets, of all things, make electricity. And really, it all comes down to one single brilliant scientific principle.
And here it is. The secret sauce is a process called electromagnetic induction. Now, I know that sounds super technical, like something straight out of a physics class, but the idea behind it is actually incredibly simple and, well, pretty elegant. So what is it? Electromagnetic induction. It's basically this. When a magnet moves near a coil of wire, it produces electricity. That's it. That's the magic trick. You move a magnet past a wire and you create an electric current. It's a discovery that totally changed the world, and it's the foundation for literally everything else we're about to talk about. Think of it like a super simple three-step recipe. First, you need some kind of force, like wind or moving water to get things going. Second, that movement spins a magnet right past a coil of wire. And third, voila, you've got electricity. It really is that simple. Movement plus a magnet equals power. Okay, so now that we get the principle, let's see how this idea is put to work on a massive scale. We'll start with two of the biggest players in renewable energy, power from wind and water. This is that principle in action. When you think of renewable energy, this is probably the first thing that comes to mind, right? These giant, graceful wind turbines. And they are maybe the most direct and obvious application of electromagnetic induction you can see. So it's our simple little formula just blown up to a massive scale. The wind spins those huge blades that turns a shaft that's connected to a generator. And inside that generator, you guessed it, magnets are spinning past wire coils, creating an electric current that gets sent out to the grid. And this is why magnets are such a breakthrough here. By using super powerful magnets, especially in newer designs, we can get rid of these big, heavy, complicated gearboxes. And that's a huge deal. It means fewer moving parts that can break down, which leads to higher efficiency and a much more reliable source of clean energy.
Now, we've seen how this works with wind, but what about water? Well, as you can probably guess, the core idea is exactly the same. We're just swapping one powerful natural force for another.
So instead of wind, you have the immense force of flowing water spinning a turbine. That turbine is connected to a generator where, magnets spin past wire coils to create electricity. And the really great thing about hydropower is just how stable it is. It can generate huge amounts of clean power 24/7. Okay, so magnets are clearly the stars of the show in wind and hydro, but their role definitely doesn't stop there. They're also the crucial supporting cast, the hidden helpers, you could say, in a whole range of other clean technologies. Just take a look at this. For solar power, magnets are in the motors that help the panels track the sun across the sky, just squeezing out every last drop of energy. For newer tech like wave and tidal energy, they're essential for turning all that chaotic ocean motion into a steady electric current. And of course, they are at the very heart of the electric motors in EVs and even some really cutting-edge energy storage systems. They're just about everywhere. So we've seen where magnets are used. Now let's just zoom out for a second and connect the dots to see why this simple force is such an absolute game changer for the whole green energy transition. Let's talk about the magnetic advantage. This is the big picture. Magnets boost efficiency, so we get more power from the same amount of wind or water. They reduce friction, which means less maintenance and equipment that lasts longer. They also let us build smaller, more compact, and more powerful generators. All of this adds up to make renewable energy more effective, more reliable, and a real competitor to fossil fuels. So after all of that, what's the one simple truth to take away from this? What's the bottom line here? This really says it all. Without magnetism, our ability to harness the planet's natural, clean energy would be incredibly limited. It is the invisible engine making our green future possible. From that little magnet on your fridge to a massive power plant, the principle is exactly the same. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought, doesn't it? Magnetism was this known force for a very long time before we figured out how to use it to generate electricity. So it really makes you wonder, what other simple fundamental forces are out there just waiting for us to discover how to harness them for our future?